Hello there! Today we are going to make cranberry toffee. I am Michele. I've written a cookbook called the Boreal Gourmet, and although this recipe is not in the cookbook, you can find it at borealgourmet.com. So, the first step is the cranberries. Yep, the disastrous freezer once more. Here. But never mind. So we measure out a cup and a half of cranberries. Now, these are low bush cranberries. They grow in the Boreal forest in the north and in other places, some places around the rest of Canada, notably the Maritimes. So that's not quite, it's a bit over a cup and a half, though it doesn't really matter. And just heat them for maybe 5 minutes, just so that they are softened a little bit. And I'm going to add just a touch of water, just a splash of water to the pot, so they don't burn. There we go. So, just give it a stir and turn the temperature to medium. So you can see that there's quite a bit of liquid in there now. That's from the berries, and it's the water that we added. This is ready to go. You don't have to cook them any longer than this. Okay, ready for the next step. So I'm going to drain the cranberries because I really don't want that liquid in the toffee. But if you save that beautiful little bit of red juice, you can make a nice drink with it. Isn't that lovely? Just cool it off, add a little bit of honey, some cold water, a couple of ice cubes, and it's a really lovely little winter cordial kind of thing. Okay, so next up, if you'll just give me a second, get rid of the pot. We're going to grind up the berries in the blender. Okay, let's just have a look and see how it is. A little bit more, I think, because you're going to press this through a strainer, so you want it to be fairly well blended. So that's just about ready to go. That's blended enough for our purposes. The berries have all been broken apart. They're not too... There we go. So this is the low-tech way of really... The strainer, I mean, of really getting the just the cranberry pulp into the pot, which is what you want. It's a little bit time-consuming, but it's worth it. So basically just stir the berries around, and as you can see, the juice and the pureed berries are falling through the strainer into the pot. Just keep on going until the berries are almost dry and there's not much left. Okay, so I think we're there. Now you see this lovely juicy bit that's left over? Don't throw that away. Don't put that in the compost. Put it in your morning smoothie or save it for muffins. So what we're doing right now is measuring out 1 packed cup of brown sugar, or 1 cup of packed brown sugar, however we'd like to say that, and adding that to the pot. I always love how the brown sugar just kind of falls out in a clump. It's really fun to work with. Okay. Next, we measure in 1/2 cup of whipping cream. And adding that to the pot, scraping it out. Measure out 3 tablespoons of butter. Now the easy way to figure out 3 tablespoons, everybody kind of knows where a 1/4 cup is, right? If you're looking at a pound of butter, there's a cup, which is 1/2 pound, and that's about 1/4 cup. So you just shave a little bit off of 1/4 cup, and there you have 3 tablespoons or thereabouts. Okay, easy peasy. And that is all your ingredients in the pot and ready to go. So we're just going to take this over to the stove and set it on the burner and turn the heat to medium and we will wait for the magic to start happening. Isn't that gorgeous? So we're getting to a point where soon big bubbles are going to form around the edge of the pot. So every time I do this, it takes a slightly different amount of time, sometimes 13 minutes, sometimes 14, sometimes 16. Now what's happening now is the color of the toffee is changing. It's becoming a nice, rich, almost browny red, like a Brunello from Montalcino, the famous Brunello. And oh, it's just so close. I think it might just be there. I'm going to do one more test to see if we're at the hardball stage. So the mixture is now sticking to the bottom of the pot consistently. That's why I'm stirring constantly. Just going to do a little test. Let it drip off the spoon a bit first. Bring it over to the glass and drop it in. So I don't know if you can see that, but they kind of fell into the water like little tadpoles. And look at that, it's holding its shape, no problem at all. See that? Okay, here it comes. You kind of have to work a little bit quickly at this point. Oh, and this is where I wish I had my spatula right close by. See how much it's sticking to the bottom of the pan? At this point, guys, it's really hot. So I'm just trying to spread it quickly before it cools too much. And it's actually, in the recipe that I've got this from, it says that it needs to cool overnight. I don't find that it does at all. I find it cools quite quickly, and you can actually cut it within about an hour. And you want to cut it while it's still a little bit warm. Not warm, but room temperature, because otherwise it can be very, very hard. And if you find that you forget to cut it because you get busy doing something else and it's hardened quite a bit and you can't get your knife through, just place it in a pan of warm water. So while the toffee's cooling, I'm just getting the squares of wax paper ready. The even better thing about living in the Yukon is that you can put your finished toffee in the snow and it gets ready that much more quickly. And I tend to cut it in fairly sizable squares so that a person can have a real taste. This is a family knife too. I don't let my husband see me doing this. Is this paper going to be big enough? We'll make it work. Way better. There we go. Another one. Okay, so there we have it. Cranberry toffee made with low bush cranberries from the Boreal forest, and those favorite ingredients: brown sugar, cream, and butter. You can't go wrong.